Hello from the northern capital of Thailand, where instead of beaches, you get mountain air and rice fields, 300 temples, and endless night markets. We were lucky to be here during the floating boat festivals when the city turned into one big Pinterest postcard. We will try to convey to you all the colorfulness of these holidays. Also, we will choose the most impressive temples of Chiang Mai. The shine of gold and silver will be complemented by colorful markets and Thai food. We will visit a local zoo with you, whose pride is the only panda in Thailand. After that, we will go to the elephant village where I will fulfill my dream of petting an elephant's backside. For dessert, there will be strawberry farms and charming mountain villages around Chiang Mai. We will witness the birth of clouds, catch a rainbow in a waterfall, and climb to the top of a mountain to visit the most atmospheric monastery of our lives. Give us a like and let's go. Let's start with the city's calling card, the giant ruined stupa. Wat Chedi Luang was founded more than 6 centuries ago, and at the end of construction, the pagoda rose to a height of 82 meters. Unfortunately, during the Great Earthquake of 1545, about 30 meters of the structure collapsed. I understand, not everyone likes history, so let's just go for a walk around the area. Do you know what beautiful flowers are blooming? These are cannonball trees. Their fruits look like shells. Here you can perform a very beautiful ritual with gold foil. Thais and tourists too buy tiny pieces of gold for 10 baht and stick them on statues. They probably make a wish or pray while doing this. There's something mesmerizing about this sparkle, don't you agree? And for curious travelers, the Royal Stupa Temple hosts meetings with monks. Anyone interested can talk to the temple novices, ask them questions about Buddhism, monastic life, or Thailand in general between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. By the way, drop by in the evening when the lights come on. I was lucky to catch a whole light show for the holiday. It was beautiful, but you cannot live on spiritual food alone. It's time for a bite, guys. Thailand in general is an abundance of street food, but Chiang Mai is just amazing with the number of night markets in different areas of the city. And on weekends, the whole center turns into one endless night market. The prices at street stalls are very affordable, though not much different from street food in Pattaya. Pad Thai noodles for 50 and a fruit shake for 25 baht in both places. Although we often heard that the north of the country is significantly cheaper, we didn't feel much of a difference. We're going to a unique place. It's definitely a must-visit, the Silver Temple. Look at this, elegant, shimmering, a true masterpiece. It stands in the middle of a village of jewelers, where craftsmen have been tirelessly working with metals, including engraving, for 5 centuries. In 2006, they decided to completely adorn the temple with panels made of silver, aluminum, and other alloys. The result is something truly masterful. Another surprising aspect is the mix of religions. At the entrance of the Buddhist Wat, you are greeted by Ganesh under an umbrella, a symbol of Hinduism. And across the area, there are many references to different teachings and beliefs. But let's be honest, few people really understand these subtleties and know which deities belong to which religion. It seems like some brilliant marketer advised them, if you want to stand out, go all out creatively. And it worked. Now tourists from different corners of the world closely examine the scenes on the walls in search of their zodiac sign, their country or famous cities, remarkable structures like the Colosseum or the Petronas Twin Towers. We even found our beloved Philippines. We were very lucky to witness the preparation for a large festive ceremony with many offerings ranging. They really put in a great effort. They were literally measuring the correct position of the trays and floral arrangements by centimeters. I thought this place could not get any more beautiful until the evening lights came on. The next location is also straight from our list of favorite places in Chiang Mai. This is a great example of how an unattractive area with rather poor buildings along a regular canal can be turned into a romantic place. We returned here several times to leisurely walk along the souvenir stalls and mini cafes, eat sweet strawberries, watch the locals who came here all dressed up on dates or take pictures. Especially in November, everything was additionally decorated for the floating boat festival. The place was not yet touristy, and the prices for flower krathongs here were the lowest. We will come back here on the night of the celebration to launch our little boats. Of course, there will be a link to the location in the description under the video. We really hope that we managed to convey this enchanting atmosphere of Chiang Mai and sincerely recommend visiting here when the whole city is like a Christmas tree, decorated with 1,000,000 colorful lanterns. So remember the November full moon. The dates change but are easy to Google usually. The festivities last for 2 to 3 days. In fact, 2 holidays are celebrated at once. Loy Krathong is the launch of floating boats, and Yee Peng is the Sky Lantern Festival. Millions of Thais launch krathongs into the water. Traditionally, they are small rafts made from banana or bamboo stems and fresh flowers. Unfortunately, this festival is often criticized for its environmental harm, so to minimize damage, they have started making krathongs from items that fish can eat: corn sticks, ice cream cones, and so on. The lit candle on the krathong symbolizes the light of Buddha's teachings. However, it is most likely that this tradition originated long before Buddhism as a ritual offering to the water spirits. It is believed that the departing krathong will take away all sorrows and hardships and fulfill the most cherished desires. In general, the launching of paper lanterns into the sky carries similar meanings. According to some versions, the lights in the sky symbolize the souls of ancestors who can also bless you for new beginnings and fulfill your wishes. Unfortunately, it turned out that a couple of years ago in Chiang Mai, launching lanterns in the city was banned and selling them is not allowed either. I honestly didn't know that. We searched in chats for information on where this is held outside the city and how to see the beautiful ceremony. We found out that several venues were specially organized for celebrations outside the city. For example, there was an offer of $120 per person, and that's the minimum package. We drove to one such location to see what it was all about for that kind of money. There they had mats on the lawn, and for more expensive tickets, plastic chairs, and about 10 tents with Thai food. The selection was really modest. Some kind of show program was planned, and most importantly, there was a simultaneous launch of lanterns to create that magical effect of hundreds of lights like in the photos. We didn't wait for this moment. We didn't have tickets and didn't want to wait a couple of hours for a drone shot. We returned to the city and completely by chance met a couple of lawbreakers with their precious sparklers right in front of our little restaurant. The second revelation happened about the parade. For 2 consecutive evenings, there was a procession with national costumes, themed floats, almost like the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. Just kidding, of course. I could edit the most wow moments for you with some music, but I'll show it as it is without editing. Such unbridled fun. Just like in the sloth cartoon, they walk slowly, dance sleepily. One group approaches, performs something, and then stands around for a long time. Then another group comes. In short, a deadly boredom stretched over several hours. Feet get tired, everyone is jostling because the sidewalk on the embankment is super narrow and there are tons of people. It's unclear where to find a restroom. Despite the downsides, there were of course some really cool teams. The Thai guys in loincloths and beauty queens were great, but personally, I felt it lacked atmosphere, some drive, and a bit of pace to speed up this long ceremony. To sum up, I absolutely love all these parades and outfits, but honestly, in the Philippines, it's much more lively and fun. Even under the scorching sun, they dance like it's the last time. Did you know that all the pandas in the world belong to China? And not all countries manage to get these cuties even for temporary custody. There is even a term, panda diplomacy. It is a way for China to express special favor to certain countries by allowing them to rent one or two individuals. When I found out there was a chance to see a panda for the first time in my life here, I decided to go, although it's generally hard for me to see animals in cages. The Chiang Mai Zoo only strengthened my dislike for such places. It occupies a very large area, but many enclosures are just tiny. The lions, tiger, and panther looked especially bad, and the orangutan, tormented by rampant tourists, didn't want to show any signs of life at all. One of my dreams is to see an orangutan in the wild in Borneo while its forests are not yet completely cut down. While you're looking at the animals, I'll tell you about the main characters. 2 giant pandas were brought to Chiang Mai in 2003. Just to note, participating in the panda breeding program costs $1 million per year. These investments paid off, and 6 years later, a miracle happened. They gave birth to a panda cub, which is extremely rare to happen in captivity outside of China. However, after some time, the grown-up cub was separated from its parents and returned to China. Such are the tough contract conditions. Unfortunately, the father panda died in 2019, right at the age of 19. The mother you see in the video also died shortly after this footage was taken. Such a sad story. Unfortunately, there are no pandas in Thailand anymore, but you can look forward to seeing adorable koalas, armored rhinos, and playful penguins. Please write in the comments which country or city you visited the most impressive zoo in. The zoo is located near one of the most significant places in Chiang Mai, the temple on Doi Suthep mountain. Taxi drivers wait right at the exit and offer rides either privately or as a shared ride if you wait for other tourists. It was decided to have some strawberries before climbing the 309 steps. We just didn't know there was a funicular for only 20 baht. I suggest you enjoy the beauty of the temple without my commentary. But it's important to understand its significance. Doi Suthep is a pilgrimage site for millions of Buddhists because a relic of the Buddha's bone is enshrined in its main stupa. With all due respect to the relics, the Silver Temple made a much greater impression on me. And now it's time to make dreams come true. We're going to the Elephant Village. There are many sanctuaries around Chiang Mai. We chose Elephant Freedom Village, booked the date and type of tour on their website. A van picked us up from the hotel, and in an hour and a half we found ourselves in the mountains at an altitude of 1,000 meters above sea level. All guests were given traditional cloaks and received a brief about the farm's founders. It's a family of 5 from the Karen ethnic group. When they brought huge bunches of bananas, we got distracted by them and didn't notice how absolutely silently they appeared at the fence. The beauties we are here for. Here lives a real family led by a matriarch, an old wise elephant. Among the other ladies of different ages, there was a huge male with powerful tusks and an adorable frolicking hairy baby elephant. Такой сладкий. Ну, держись, на.
Oh, yes, please. Can you do this? Can you do this one?
Все забрал. Да. Снимай.
Вот такой теплый.
Да.
Держи, сразу две. The main rule of all tours in Chiang Mai is no riding. Almost all the animals ended up here after working with tourists in the harsh conditions of amusement parks. You may rightfully be outraged that they are still in captivity here. Certainly it's true, but the reality is that the forest giants simply have no free grazing areas left. Without the feeding and supervision of the Karen people, they are at great risk if they venture onto highways or into someone else's gardens, which are protected by electric fences.
He doesn't want to eat the green banana. He sees 2 bananas and immediately chooses the yellow one.
А почему он лег, Жень? Смотри, что делает. What is it?
Yes, safflower seed.
О, семечки, Жень. The little one is smacking its lips, probably because the seeds are salty. Elephants love salt. Did you know that one elephant needs 100 square kilometers for free grazing and enough food? That's a lot. In the past, almost the whole country was covered in forests, but now there are fewer and fewer of them, and Thai elephants have long been considered endangered. This makes the birth of offspring all the more valuable. Every baby elephant is a big celebration for the sanctuary. It means the animals are healthy and feel safe here. The caretakers, of course, had small sticks, but no rods or horrible metal hooks like we saw in Sri Lanka, and of course, no chains. We managed to see how the elephant mother feeds her baby. Many people think that elephants drink with their trunk, but that's not true. They can draw water with their trunk and then send it to their mouth. Notice how the little one has lowered its trunk and latched onto the breast with its mouth.
Кормление слоне.
Так хрюкает. Да? О, тюхрюка. И тявкает. Хорошенький. Он всасывает прям. Пылесосик такой. Такое забавное ощущение. Покажи хлопоть.
Сейчас он тебе.
Chiang Mai is known as a place for elephant retirement. Here they are in better conditions, spending most of the day in the forest or by the river, and only at night in the enclosure. Our tour cost 2,000 baht, $60 per person at the current exchange rate, and it was worth every cent. We especially enjoyed spending a whole hour and a half right among the elephants, happily observing their behavior, relationships between each other, and with their keepers. We petted them, fed them, walked to the river and back, and of course bathed them.
Выходи, пока успеешь. Спасение.
Красота! Да вообще капец, он же брызгает. О, сзади тебя там слон тоже завалился. It was pure puppy joy. By the end, my cheeks were sore from smiling constantly, but there were a couple of scary moments. When we were walking down the path to the river, the elephant almost accidentally pushed me off the cliff. And the second one you saw? I was literally wedged between 3 giants, so stay focused and stick close to the keepers.
Большого слона никто не покупал.
Well, this was an unforgettable day. More precisely, a couple of hours, but there are full-day tours and even overnight stays. The link to the Elephant Freedom Village website will be in the description below the video. A couple of useful tips. Elephants bathe in the icy mountain river, so bring spare shoes and dry clothes. Of course, towels and mosquito repellent. Unless you, like the elephants, plan to use red clay for protection against insects.
Все, прощаемся со слониками. А ты меня решил толкнуть в конце концов опять?
No need to bring food and water. We were quite deliciously fed. There were fruits, rice, chicken in batter, and stewed vegetables. Thank you, Elephant Freedom, for this experience and emotions. I'm even smiling during the editing while looking at these shots. If you also liked it, don't forget to give it a like. We really hope that after watching this video, at least one person will abandon the idea of riding on the back of an elephant and choose much more humane ways to enjoy interacting with these wonderful animals. And we move further into another fantastic day in northern Thailand. The suburbs of Chiang Mai are a separate delight. There are many great locations. We decided to definitely visit Mae Kampong, a charming tiny village in a mountain gorge 50 kilometers from the city. The roads are excellent, and we came across several fun cafes on the way. For example, the one with teepees and cacti. Well, if you or your kids are fans of westerns, be sure to stop by. And for Lord of the Rings fans, welcome to the Hobbit house. As for my husband and me, we always find time for strawberries. Chiang Mai has a great climate for this berry. It's so sweet and fragrant, and they also sell macadamia nuts here. I really thought they only grew somewhere in Africa. What a delicious pit stop we had. That's how, with several stops, we quietly reached our goal. Mae Kampong is love at first sight. Look at this beauty. More than anything, I wanted to visit this cafe with a gorgeous view of the entire village. We tried the delicious cheesecake with macadamia nuts and warmed ourselves up with hot tea. It's a pity the drone can't be launched in rainy weather. But at least the plants around are happy with the moisture. Everything is literally blooming. For example, coffee is just growing along the road. Isn't that cool? Actually, Mae Kampong, located at an altitude of 1,300 meters, is ideal for growing tea. It was with this purpose in mind that over 100 years ago, farmers came here. However, in the late 80s, the direction of ecotourism began to develop gradually, and now people from all over the country come here for the one and only cozy street along the mountain stream. There are no 7-Elevens or big hotels here. Mainly tourists stay overnight in the homes of local residents. I could sit in this cafe all night. It's so beautiful here. The food is quite simple: rice, meat, and an egg. And it's not expensive at all. We didn't book anything in advance. We dropped our things at the first decent homestay we found and went for a walk in the evening Mae Kampong. The first thing we saw? Cocktails in buckets. It was like we were transported to a full moon party. 200 baht at today's rates, about $6. We had strawberries again. The Thai people were standing in a long queue for some traditional dessert, the composition of which we could not understand. But one thing is clear right away: we urgently need it. We ended this wonderful day on the balcony, enjoying local fried sausages and rolls and relishing the fresh mountain air. By the way, in the evening it becomes noticeably cool and we slept under a warm blanket. I can't shake the feeling that all this aesthetics remind me of Japanese villages. There is something equally harmonious and cozy. Early in the morning we moved on, but first a macadamia cheesecake in that very cafe. We couldn't leave without flying a drone over Mae Kampong. And right along the way, there was the Kew Fin observation deck with views worth stopping for, especially since it's only 200 meters from the main road along a paved path. It's so beautiful here, an endless sea of green hills. We are now at an altitude of 1,517 meters and there's not a soul around. Eugene arranged drone races here. The footage turned out great, like an FPV drone flyby, but it's just a regular DJI Mini. Now let's come down from the sky to the ground and talk about the drawbacks. First of all, the roads. Mostly they are excellent, sometimes asphalt, sometimes concrete, but without potholes and damage. However, this is a mountainous area and in some places there are very steep inclines and a weak motorbike might not be able to pull you up. We were on an NMAX and even then stalled on a steep climb. Fortunately, the brakes worked and we didn't roll back down. It was very scary. Please carefully assess your riding experience and the power of your motorcycle, and be careful. It's definitely more comfortable to travel such distances by car and to climb hills. And ahead of us on the course is that very mountain, the peak of which we are supposed to climb. It's hard to believe. To be honest, we almost were late because Anya wanted to film how rice is dried and how fires burn in the fields. But I did it on purpose, so I don't forget to tell the super important detail about Chiang Mai. The second minus, there is a season here when people burn dry grass after the harvest. And this is a huge number of fields, plus the dry season is overlaid and forest fires start as well. Every year, from around December to April, the city is covered in smog. The air pollution index skyrockets to dangerous levels, and many expats living in Chiang Mai prefer to leave for other regions during this period. So whoever has watched up to this point, well done. Now you know when it's better not to go to the north of Thailand. So we miraculously made it before closing. The ticket office is open until 4 p.m. We paid 560 baht for 2 people. This included a powerful truck with an experienced driver who took us almost to the top via an insanely dangerous serpentine road. Honestly, the trip is not for the faint-hearted. Then we had to make the final push up the steps to the unique heavenly pagoda. Apart from us, there was only one other tourist, so we quietly passed by the monk and found ourselves on top of the world. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because soon there will be episodes from Vietnam and the Philippines. This trip was just a couple of days before leaving the country. We covered huge distances on our motorbike and were extremely tired. But we couldn't leave Chiang Mai without visiting the most famous park, Doi Inthanon. So we bought a tour on the very last day and didn't regret it for a second. Well, actually, we did regret it for about an hour when the minibus didn't pick us up at dawn. They forgot about us, but then the tour company sent a private driver for us, and we traveled in comfort. The first stop on the route was a waterfall. It's literally 10 meters from the parking lot. Very convenient, no need to climb through the jungle. And the second bonus, a simply magical rainbow. It immediately set the mood for this splendid day. I also wanted to show you a banana flower, in case someone doesn't know how a bunch of bananas gradually forms from such a flower. A new bundle under each leaf, and each of these stamens is a future banana. The Thai-style lunch was not spectacular, but it was quite edible. Rice, battered chicken, vegetables, and mushroom soup. It was already included in the cost of the tour, which was 1,800 baht per person. So, a couple of words about the national park. The highest peak in the park is Doi Inthanon Mountain. It is the highest mountain in the country, which is why the park is called the Roof of Thailand. The park is named after one of the last kings of Chiang Mai, who took care of preserving the forests in the north of the country. The two pagodas built later are dedicated to the most popular and beloved, though unfortunately now deceased, King of Thailand, Rama IX, and his wife Queen Sirikit. They are the parents of the current king, Rama X. Everything here is wonderful, mountain air, perfect flower beds, benches and bridges. But what amazes the most is how clouds are born right before your eyes. On this tour, we were constantly either taking off layers because of the heat and humidity, or bundling up again because it was quite cool in the mountains. The flora of Doi Inthanon Park includes evergreen cloud forests, and part of the program was a walk through such a forest. At first I thought, ugh, how boring! But then I touched every mossy branch and felt like I was in the settings of some fairy tale about monster in the swamp or a movie about hobbits. It was cool, we liked it. Especially since it was short and convenient. The entire path is laid out with a wooden walkway, signposts, and boards about local biodiversity. Also, there are restrooms and cafes, everything for your comfort. Our guide made us stop at a small market and farm, where it turned out you could also spend the night in tents by the stream. Let's quickly take a peek at what the local farmers are selling. These bright yellow fruits are called cheese fruit. Try them if you come across them. They're really unusual. A granny was selling flowers. There were lots of nuts and dried fruits. Everything looked so appetizing. Of course, we bought some strawberries and thought that was the end. But the guide told us that a bonus awaits us for the morning mishap. It was a temple with an observation deck overlooking Chiang Mai. I'm curious whether everyone gets taken there or if we're just lucky. Let us know if you've been on this tour. In any case, save this stunning location because there are very few foreigners there and the place is truly beautiful. The temple itself, the numerous photo spots, everything is so bright and festive, and of course the panorama. Oh, I've run out of adjectives. We really hope this video inspires someone to discover Northern Thailand. It's truly wonderful and we'll definitely be back.